Example time. I have promised you to give 2 examples for counter mindsets and 2 examples for language learning myths that can sabotage our best efforts of showing up for deep and successful language learning. Now, what is a counter mindset? A counter mindset is basically a framework of thinking about something that actually hinders and sabotages our efforts in regards to doing something and doing it well. So a counter mindset, for example, in regards to language learning, but also in regards to many other things in life, can be a fixed mindset. A fixed mindset, kind of opposed to a growth mindset, is a way of thinking that assumes that talent and capabilities are something that we're born with and that cannot really change. Now, a growth mindset assumes what is right, that actually our brain can develop. We can learn new things. Our brain is like a muscle. The more we use it and the more we actually engage it with new information and new practices, it grows, it adapts. So a fixed mindset can, and I think we can see that clearly, can actually hinder us to be fully motivated, to fully put the work in regards to language learning, be it vocabulary, be it grammar, be it kind of fully giving us into certain situations and growing in our ability to converse with other people. We think, no, I wasn't good in college in learning Spanish, so I'm for sure not good 10 years later in brushing off that Spanish or learning a new foreign language. I was never really good in that. And no, I should not try that, right? So a fixed mindset really can sabotage us strongly. A second counter mindset is, for example, a scarcity mindset. Now it comes from scarce, when something is rare and maybe something is not enough. Now, scarcity mindset is when people are obsessing about something that they lack. They're obsessing about the lack of time, lack of money, lack of possibilities, for example, lack of talent. Scarcity mindsets can be ruining many, many efforts in many areas of life. Actually, all of these mindsets that we will also go through in the course that I created and that I'm proposing to take, all of these mindsets can also show up in our life in general, not just in regards to language learning. These are ways of thinking that can hinder our success, hinder our good habit building in regards to different areas of life, relationship, finances, career goals, health, also especially. So really becoming aware of what kind of counter mindsets I believe in and have helps not only with language learning, it's kind of almost like therapy also for other areas of life, right? Now, scarcity mindset is when people, for example, in regard to language learning, think, yeah, I don't have all the good material that I need to actually make good progress in learning this or that language. It's a very exotic language. I don't have everything that I need for that. Or when people, for example, think, yeah, I don't have enough money to really get a good teacher or to really take part in a good solid course for this or that. Scarcity mindset is something that lures us into focusing more on what we lack than what we have. And it blurs our vision for all the things we still do have that can help us on our language journey. Now, every language learning endeavor looks different because we're very different people, different set of circumstances. Our language learning experience that we already had is different. So we can't really fully compare our journeys to each other. Yet, one thing that I saw come up more often than not, unfortunately, is this scarcity thinking, this obsessing about what one does not have, instead of focusing and being grateful and using the things and the circumstances that one actually does have. Okay, these were 2 examples for counter mindsets. Let's look at language learning myths. One big language learning myth is that one is too old to successfully learn a foreign language. Way too many people still believe that. It's actually really a pity. Now, of course, we're not 2 or 3 year olds anymore who are almost effortlessly learning new words in their native language every day, together with an impeccable pronunciation, which is actually not that impeccable in the first months and years. It kind of smooths out until kids come to school and even later. But we always get jealous about the effortlessness. They don't really have to sit down to learn the words. But the thing is, they also have hours and hours, thousands of hours of immersion in that language. So when they then set out to read at age 5, 6, or 7, they already know all these words. And they basically just then detect them in the texts, right? Now, we as adults do not have these many hours of immersion. For us, it is way shorter time actually in which we can pick up a new language. Why? One reason is we are already literate. We can read. So we have that skill already that little kids don't have. Plus, we have more life experience. We can anticipate how certain conversations are going. We can ask pointed and very intelligent questions to our conversation partner in a foreign language. We have life experience. We know ourselves better, and we know sometimes better how we learn. We have a bigger knowledge of the world. And so we have also possibilities to think in categories that little kids cannot think in. So I would say actually that it is easier for adults to learn a foreign language, and it can go faster than it goes for kids to learn their native language. So age is not and should not really be a hindrance to successful language learning and to showing up. Another aspect is immersion. There's this myth that people believe that, okay, if I do not live in the language, in the language community where the language is spoken in a country of that target language, then I can forget my progress. It won't happen. Yeah, okay, living in a country where the target language is spoken is definitely helpful. But it's, first of all, not the only immersion possibility one has, especially not in this day and age. And it is also not a guarantee for successful language learning. I mean, look at millions of people who live in foreign countries, yet they are not really at a good proficiency level of speaking the language of these countries, right? So that is not a guarantee. And in my course, Mindset Before Method, we will go through way more counter mindsets and language learning myths than these 4 that I just presented. But these 4 I just wanted to present as a little teaser to make you aware of the things that we often hold dear in our head, whether we know about it or not. And they actually can sabotage our best efforts. So stay tuned for video number 3 in our journey to raise awareness about language learning mindsets.